In this video, I will show a method for knitting Intarsia as if you're working in the round. Intarsia is typically worked back and forth, as this way you have the yarn where you need it. But with this method, the stitches are connected at the beginning of the round to avoid seaming afterwards. I've made a small swatch in the round in double moss stitch, with a knit stitch on each side of the round marker. I will start my Intarsia pattern on this round, so I work until the placement of my motif. Then I attach the new color and knit the motif. I can continue knitting with the same ball of background color here, since the motif is only 5 stitches. You can watch my other video on Intarsia technique for more details. I'm now at the last stitch before the marker. It is knitted together with the strand between the 2 stitches on each side of the marker. This is done to steal yarn from the last stitch, since it would otherwise become too large. They are knit together as a left-leaning decrease. So I slip the stitch knitwise, then pick up the strand and place it on the left needle. Then I transfer the stitch back on the left needle and knit the 2 together through the back loop. I move the marker to make a loop around the stitch on the other side, before I work back on the wrong side. The loop is made around the stitch to bind the 2 sides together. I hold the yarn behind the work and slip the stitch purlwise. Then I bring the yarn around to the front of the work and turn the work to the wrong side. The yarn is now behind the work and the stitch is slipped purlwise again. So I haven't worked the stitch, but simply wrapped the yarn around it. Then I move the marker again and can now work back on the wrong side. Since I'm knitting back and forth, I have the yarn ready where I need to change to my pattern color. I'm now back at the stitch before the round marker, which I made a loop around. I pick up the loop with the right needle and lift it onto the left needle. The loop and the stitch are purled together. This way the 2 sides are now bound together across the marker. I turn the work to the right side and continue working according to my pattern. Again, I stop at the stitch before the marker and knit it together with the following strand. And I wrap the yarn around the stitch after the marker as before. I continue like this on all the rows where I'm working with multiple colors in Intarsia. I've now knitted a piece, and as you can see, the stitches on each side of the marker are bound together. They will switch slightly from side to side, but will straighten out in the wash. I've just given my swatch a little bit of steam to show how the stitches will straighten out. My Intarsia pattern has been on every row until now, so I've had to turn each time at the marker. But I will now work Intarsia in stripes of the black with the light background color in between. I can therefore work in the rounds that are only in the background color. But on the first round, I knit the last stitch together with the strand one last time. I can now continue in the round until I'm going to work Intarsia again.